Have you ever been in a situation so bizarre, so completely out of blue, that your brain just stops? What happens when the script of life is thrown out of the window and you are left standing on the stage, speechless? For many of us with ASD, who rely on patterns and predictable outcomes to navigate the world, these moments are more than just awkward. They are uncharted territory. Welcome back to ASD is Ability. I'm Joan Torrance, and this podcast is all about discovering the strength in our neurodiversity. Today, we are talking about those moments that catch us completely off guard. The unscripted, the unexpected, and how our minds process them. I'm going to share a personal story that is, well, it's one for the books. It involves a major TV celebrity name, a very important phone call, and a surprising and unforgettable lack of pants. And through it, we will explore how to find our footing when the social script gets torn to shreds. To set the scene, you have to picture me a few years back. I was the head of sourcing at Majestic, the large UK wine retailer. It was an exciting time because the TV celebrity Norton had just launched his own wine in the UK, and we were selling it. It was a big deal. One day, I'm in the head office and a colleague rushes over. They're looking for the buyer for New Zealand wine, and he wasn't around. My colleague looked stressed and said, "I have Graham Norton on the phone, and he wants to know how the wine is performing." My mind immediately kicked into gear. This I could handle. I had the data. I could access the sales figures, our customer segmentation, the key performing areas. I had the script ready in my head. I could give him a full professional update. I felt prepared. I said, "I can take the call." My colleague transferred the call. I picked up the phone professionally and confidently and said my name. And on the other end, I heard a voice saying, "Oh my gosh, that came quick. Wait a moment, I don't have my pants on." On my end of the phone, there was just silence. My brain, having ASD, loves patterns, loves predictable outcomes. I had the beautiful script all prepared. I just hit a blue screen of death. The system crashed. Someone is on the phone with no pants on. What is the correct social response to this? There is no manual for this. Definitely not for my ASD brain. This was more than just a surprise. It was a complete system failure. The shock was so total that I couldn't even form a word. It felt like an eternity. After a while, he came back on the line. I'm assuming fully clothed. And we proceeded to have a perfectly normal conversation about the wine's performance. We discuss the data, the sales, how everything is going. In essence, I return to the script I have prepared. That moment of shock is engraved in my mind. The day I spoke to someone with no pants that was referred to me as Graham Norton. It was the ultimate unscripted moment. In hindsight, it's a hilarious story. At that moment, it was terrifying. And it perfectly illustrates a challenge many of us on the spectrum face. What happens when the wall goes off script? We often learn to navigate social interactions by observing and creating internal scripts. If person A says X, I should respond with Y. It's a coping mechanism and it works most of the time. When you get a variable like, I don't have my pants on, it doesn't compute. It's an error in the code. The freeze, that silence from my end, wasn't me being rude. It was my brain trying to process a situation that I've never experienced before. Here is where we find the ability in ASD. The ability is not about never freezing. The ability is in the reboot. My brain, after the initial shock, managed to get back online. It found the original purpose of the call, the anchor, and we had the conversation. These unscripted moments don't have to be moments of failure. They can be moments of pure, unfiltered, and sometimes hilarious human interaction. They become the best stories, and they teach us a valuable lesson. It's okay to be thrown off. It's okay to need a moment. How can we prepare for the unprepared? Here are a few tools that I have learned to use. First, the power of the pause. When you're shocked or overwhelmed, it is perfectly okay to be silent. It's okay to say, "Wow, okay, just give me a moment." That silence isn't empty. It's your brain working, processing, and rebooting. My silence on the phone wasn't a weakness. It was a function. Second, anchor to the original goal. What was the purpose of the interaction before it went sideways? For me, it was the wine sales. After the pants detour, the conversation returned to that anchor. When you are lost in a bizarre social moment, try to find your way back to the original point of the conversation. It's your safe harbor. And third, reframe with humor. At the time, I was mortified. Now, it's one of my best stories. Learning to look back at those moments of anxiety and laugh is a superpower. It transforms a moment of stress into a personal asset, an anecdote that makes you unique. For any neurotypical listeners here with us, thank you for being here. You might be wondering why a simple funny comment would cause such a strong reaction. Many people on the spectrum and with other forms of neurodiversity spend a great deal of energy trying to follow social rules that aren't intuitive to us. When those rules are suddenly broken in a completely unexpected way, it can feel like the ground has vanished from beneath our feet. So if you are ever in a situation and you see someone freeze or go quiet after an unexpected event, please know it's likely not disinterest or rudeness. It's more likely their processor is just working overtime on a very, very complex problem. Patience and a calm moment are the most helpful things you can offer. To bring it all together, life will always be full of unscripted moments. For everyone. That call with Graham Norton told me that while I can't prepare for every weird possibility, I can trust my ability to recover. It's okay to pause and reboot. It's powerful to find your way back to your anchor. And it's a joy to embrace the wild stories these moments give us. Our ability to navigate these situations, even imperfectly, is a strength. Thank you for listening to ASD is Ability. If today's episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who you think might benefit. Next time life catches you without your pants on, metaphorically speaking, just take a breath, pause, and know that you have what it takes to handle it. I will be back in our next episode to explore another theme of our neurodivergent lives. Until then, look after yourself. See you next time.